Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. This morning I'm going to fix the Husqvarna 223R brush cutter and then get back down to the rock road and finish the work there. For those who saw the first video, you probably already know this, but I'll catch everybody else up. I was brush cutting a little over a week ago down on the rock road, and the motor cut out, and I looked at it from the top and the motor was skewed. So I found out that there was 2 screws missing and one of them was about halfway out. So it's got like a little clutch mechanism on the motor right here that connects with the drive mechanism, and that had just like disconnected, and that's what made it cut out. But obviously it let me know that there was a big problem with this. I couldn't just continue with the one screw in there. So I went to the hardware store to get replacement screws and found out that they're proprietary screws, which really pissed me off. They could have used a number 12 or whatever. Kitty, I'm busy. I'm talking to YouTube. They could have used a number 12 screw, but no, they had to make a proprietary screw so they can make money off of every screw sold, which really sucks. And then the repair place in town didn't have any, or both repair places in town, neither one of them had it. So I ordered it, and it comes in a set of 2. It needs 3, but luckily I still have this one. So I had to get Permatex thread locker, the extra heavy duty stuff, and I'm going to goober that all on this. I'm going to add a little bit to these other screws as well, because apparently it didn't work the first time. These have a little bit of thread locker on them, but you know, it came loose before. So I'm going to get this all back together and get my butt down there. It's going to rain at about 4, and it takes a long time to do this when you're filming, so hopefully I can get everything done by 4. I need to use the blade on about 1/3 of the road, on both sides obviously. Then I need to go back on the entire road. It's about 1/4 mile each way, or no, it's 1/3 of a mile each way. So 2/3 of a mile, I have to go back and cut it with the trimmer to dice all that stuff up and cut the middle of the road. So it's just a lot of walking and a lot of swinging this thing. So hopefully I can get this all done before it rains. Also, I forgot to mention this. There is 2 rubbed holes in the spark plug wire. So I got to get it cleaned up a little bit and tape it up, and then get this thing back together and get going. So I got a lot of work ahead of me, so let's get moving. Alright, first thing is to get this wire a little cleaner. I'm just using lacquer thinner. Yeah, there's a lot of grime on there. And I do believe, yep, it's bare in 2 places down here. And I'll show you that in a second. There's a spot down here where it's not shielded. There's a little rub right here as well. And that is probably all due to the motor case being loose and the wire bouncing around. It does have a shield right here, but the shield was not enough. Okay, now I just got to figure out how these wires came out of this case. Oh, I believe I have to put the side plate on first. Nope, no I don't. Okay, so it's just this. So yeah, this might not be so easy because of these wires. I believe they just came out of that slot like that and then get routed on the outside. All right, I stood this thing up so it's a little easier to handle. This stuff is not going to come out. It's going to come out juicy at first. Oh. Okay, I don't know if this red thread lock is supposed to look like water like this. I thought it was like a paste. But it's all I got, and I got to get this done. The other two have the factory installed thread lock on them, so hopefully this thing stays together. We ordered 3 screws from one place and 2 screws on Amazon. The ones on Amazon came first, and the other ones came the day later. So the other ones are in town still, but I have enough to get the job done, so we'll try to get it done. All right, one more screw right there. Get a little bit of this stuff on there too. All right, last screw. I really had to fidget a while with those, with the screw right where the wires came out. The wires have to be tucked in there and into their chase. So you don't need to see all that, but if this happens to you, pay close attention to that, because if they're not in the right place, they will pinch the wire and you're going to get a short or something. Well, it's kind of hard to get a short when you got so much plastic, but it could cut the wire. All right, which side? There it is. So this shroud, the wires were actually on top of this shroud right here, and they need to go down and come out the little slot. Now they can get routed, and I believe that's about how they go. Okay, now let's get the rest of the parts on. Set this down, and this okay. Okay, it's all back together. Now I just got to test it, and then I need to cut some string because I'm going to be doing mostly string stuff today, and I'm almost out of string, and then we'll get going and get cutting. Okay, when it rains, it pours. Can't get it started. And when this motor was askew like that, I thought I started it once after that, but it's possible I didn't. Maybe this spark plug wire is loose on the magneto, and I'm not 100% sure where the magneto is, but I know the wire goes back down into here. So I'm going to have to take that back off. I'm going to try starting it a couple more times. If it doesn't start, I'm going to take all that stuff back off, and see if this wire is intact all the way back to the magneto. I really cannot do without a brush cutter, and this is the second year in a row where this has been down for weeks. I think last year it was down for a month. The place just gets overgrown. It's getting really bad up here, so I got to do the entire property, but the road is the top priority right now. It's nearly impassable in some areas, so I really got to get this running. So I'm going to take it apart, look at that wire, and give it another try. All right, so I took the plug out, kept it on its boot, and tried starting it, and I could not see any spark. I had Cindy over here. She couldn't see any spark either. I spritzed some starting fluid down into the cylinder, put the plug back in, tried starting it, nothing. So I'm going to guess that the plug wire is disconnected from the other end, and I'm going to have to take it back apart again. So time to pull it apart again. Okay, got her apart, and I think I found the problem. There is another major nick, and it appears as though it's grounding. When this is tucked in like this, it's grounding right to this post right here. So I got to get this taped up really well, and I'm hoping that'll solve the problem. All right, let's get this taped up real quick. All right, I found another problem. The kill switch, which goes to the magneto here, also has a big nick in it and could be grounding out to some of the metal here. So I'm going to clean both of these with lacquer thinner, get them nice and clean, and then tape them up, and then I'll get this back together, and hopefully it'll start for me and I can get brush cutting. Like I said, this is probably the most used tool on the entire homestead, and as soon as I can afford it, I'm gonna move up to the next model. I believe, even though I'm having lots of problems with this, I believe I will go with another Husqvarna, but I don't know. It's possible I'll go with a different brand. All right, I got her started. She's running good. Time to get back at it. Yeah, I couldn't show a lot because Natalie's friend is over, and they were standing like 10 feet away from me for such a long time. I just decided to come down here and get to work. So this is as far as I got before. I trimmed both sides right around to that tree right there. You can see how bare it is right here because it had a big bush of blackberries right there. So no light gets to the ground, and once you cut them down, it's pretty bare like that. Same thing here. This part looks pretty good. I did all the saw work, and I sprayed 2,4-D. So you can see, oh, where does it end? This is what it looked like. A lot of plantain and other stuff. And then right around here is where I started spraying. And most of that stuff is already shriveled up and gone now. And it will completely disappear at some time. So it's just a matter of getting right back at it. I got the saw blade on, and I'll start right on the other side of that tree and go up to the turnaround, come back, and then move the gator forward. And hopefully it won't take too long and I can get to the string part of it. Okay, this was really a bear. There was a lot of big blackberries in this area, but now this is the turnaround right here. It's the only real way you can turn around on this road, and it was getting awful overgrown. The side bank right there was just covered with that stuff. I'm not sure if you could see how much I was struggling with that stuff, but it was pretty bad. Well, you can see right at the edge here, this is how it is. Got to get in there and, you know, cut the tips off the stuff, and then cut the stuff on the side of the hill, and then try to get it up at the top of the hill. This isn't quite as bad as it was back in here, but kind of similar. So this stuff kind of ends right here, and then it picks up for a little bit right there, and then we're into dark woods. And I don't think it's really bad on that last stretch up to the house either. So the worst of it's over. Oh, and let me show you this. This is my American chestnut, and this thing has had the top bitten off I'm not sure how many times, and it's finally starting to look really nice. I very nearly chopped this thing off, and luckily I spotted it and went around it and got that grate out of there. I'm gonna have to take that back with me. So these are endangered. I'll put a link to, I think I have a playlist for this, but maybe not. I got these from the American Chestnut Foundation, I believe it is. And we had to join, and it's like $300, and you get 6 acorns, or whatever the nuts are called, or chestnuts, I guess. You get 6 chestnuts, and yeah, just this one more along the road, and then that bigger one up top. Those are the only ones that made it, and it looks like if this one doesn't get the top bit off again, that it could start shooting upwards a bit. Good. All right, I'm gonna move up to here and then get to just around the corner, and then, like I said, it gets much easier. I might not need the saw, and if that's the case, I'll just move on to the next area that I need the saw. And when I come back, I'll be dicing up all this stuff with the string. So all right, let's move her up. I just finished cutting. You might be able to see the little guy. I just finished cutting, came over here, grabbed the camera, was putting it on the hand mount, and a little fawn came right through on the trail, the same trail that I went up onto and was cutting right there. Came through and went down that way. This is it's a big deer run, and it was here when we first bought the land. We had our first camp out right on this deer run, right back in there. We call it Camp Misery. The mother's probably around somewhere. I've seen this fawn sleeping back by the Billy Road before. So he waited till I was done, and he thought I was gone because I was being really quiet, putting the camera on the hand mount. And they don't see well during the day, so figured I was gone, and he just kind of wandered through. Well, he wasn't going real slow, but he wasn't going real fast either. Damn. Okay, so I went about halfway up the hill. Now I just got to get up to the intersection up there, and I'm not sure how much I got to do beyond that. I think that's right around the end of what I need to get with the saw. And then I believe that's about it for the saw work. And then I'll switch to the string head. But I'm not sure if I'll be getting it done today. We'll see how long it takes to get this done. Alright, I last talked to you down there. And then I was going to set up the camera, and my fresh battery was dead. So I just came all the way up, went down to the end there, and that's pretty much all that was needed. This didn't need it, or this. So now my tire on the little lawnmower, we usually take the little lawnmower down the road, and I'm going to try taking it on the whole rock road, which should be pretty interesting. But that tire, the flat I fixed, it was bubbling like crazy out of the valve. Changed the valve, and it was not leaking out of the valve at all anymore, but the tire is still leaking. So I did see that there was a few bubbles coming out of the rim. So what I'm going to do is let the air out, break the seal, and I'm going to reseat the tire. Put some soap on it on both sides, reseat it, and inflate it, and I'm hoping that'll do it. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get at this stuff today, but we'll see. Let's go get that tire done. All right, I dismounted the tire, took the tire off, dismounted it, cleaned it, and put soap around the bead on both sides, and then got her mounted again and filled it back up. Hopefully this holds air, and I don't think I'm going to be able to trim that tomorrow because, well, it's going to start raining in a little while today, and I believe tomorrow it's going to rain all day, so it might be a good 3 days before I can trim that, but hopefully this will work. If not, if it's low on air tomorrow, I'm just going to take it to the place in town and have them fix it. So it's about 4 o'clock, and I'm going to have to wrap it up. I got to get things put away for the rain. So if you want to see more road maintenance on Planet Mojo, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions and comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you give the video a like and or share it, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.